What's happening? What's happening with it? Yeah, y'all already know what it is. You tuned in to another episode of Everything Boxing. There you go, talking that boxing again. What's happening with everybody? When you come in the building, make sure that you hit the like button, smash on the like button, and jump in the comments. Let me know you in the building. Yes, sir. We got some good fights coming on this weekend. Some good fights coming on this weekend. Solid fights. But we got a lot to talk about today. We got a lot to talk about today. A lot of things going on with boxing. A lot of things going on with Showtime. So let's cook. Let's cook. Like I said, when you come in the building, make sure that you hit the like button. And let me know you in the building. Jump in the comments. Don't look like they really sending out my notifications like that. Oh, shit. But make sure that y'all, whoever is in the building, make sure that you hit the like button. It's free. It don't cost nothing. Yeah. So like I said, it ain't really showing me nobody is in the building at all. But we gonna cook anyway. So we got Brian Mendoza versus Tim Tszyu this weekend. Man, that's gonna be a hell of a fight. Brian Mendoza versus Tim Tszyu. I think that's gonna be an action-packed fight. And I ain't really gave my pick yet. You know, I don't really know who I'm picking for the fight. But because Brian Mendoza, man, he's shown that he can get you up out of there. If he land the right punch on you, he got power to get you up out of there at any given time. And we got Charles Granger in the building. What's happening with it? Sean 313 in the building. What's happening with it? What it do? Salute. But man, yeah, so we got some fights this weekend. We got some fights on ESPN as well. We got Beck, he coming back and he fighting in the unification bout. We also got Keyshawn Davis, he coming back. Now, I know a lot of people don't like Keyshawn Davis. You know, my man KQKC, he be cooking Keyshawn Davis. I'm trying to tell y'all, Keyshawn Davis can fight. Keyshawn Davis gonna be one of them ones. And I know Keyshawn Davis, he originally had the feud with what's my man name? EJ's fighter. What's my man's name? Somebody help me out. Frank Martin. He originally had the feud with Frank Martin. But y'all ain't gonna like this, but I've been saying this. I think Keyshawn Davis beats Frank Martin. Keyshawn Davis can fight. You don't win Olympic silver medalist and you can't fight. You know what I'm saying? The only one to beat Keyshawn Davis was Andy Cruz. And he a grown-ass man. He was a grown-ass man fighting Keyshawn Davis as a kid. Man, my connection is messing up again. I don't know what the hell going on. Why my connection is always messing up on this browser. I'm going to have to start using something other than StreamYard. If anybody know any other, any other platforms that's better than StreamYard, because StreamYard been messing up on me lately. I don't know, Jermaine B. I don't know, because them young cats, bro, don't get it twisted just because Pacquiao's a pro. Some of them young cats, man, they on a different level now. And on top of that, them dudes, like I said, man, they've mastered that amateur system. The amateur system is different than the professional ranks. And Pacquiao, he was never really an amateur fighter. You know, Pacquiao was, what was he do, like pro at 12 years old or some shit? So it's going to be a lot different. You know what I'm talking about? Big Dog Willie in the building. What's happening with it? The Haney Coat and Lord Bill Haney hashtag capping. I got a video, man, that I got coming out. Y'all gonna want to watch this. I got a video that you're gonna want to see later on, man, with involving Bill Haney, and it's just pure comedy. It's pure comedy. Bill Haney know he a trip for real, for real. Headgear don't make you fight. You know what I'm saying? Your main being, yeah, I know what you're saying. Like what you looking at it is Pacquiao gonna be cracking, but at the end of the day, he's still like 44, 45 years old, and them dudes is way younger than him, and he gonna find out. You know what I'm saying? He gonna find out. So I wouldn't just pencil him in as a gold medalist win. He might not even make it that far. Charles Granger said you rather see Charles Martin versus Keyshawn. Yeah, because you probably know that Charles Martin was just going to get walked all over by Shakur. Because that's what was going to happen. No matter what these channels and platforms that run around pushing narratives because they hate Shakur Stevenson want to tell you, Charles Martin was going to get his ass beat. And it wasn't going to even be close at all. But like I said, as y'all come in the building, smash on the like button. They don't really put my notifications out and let people know I'm on like that no more. So smash the like button, and if you want to share this, share that I'm on the live stream. Because a lot of people don't know. They be hitting me up and they have no idea that I be on. But yeah, Jana Beck, I don't know too much about the guy that he's fighting this weekend. But I mean, I guess he's supposed to be, tough competition. Antonio King, what's happening with it? Salute. But I'm going to talk about some real shit today. For real, for real. When it comes to the PBC and Showtime, I'm really going to cook on that situation. So y'all want to stay tuned to that. I ain't took no wrenches, Big Dog Willie. I haven't took nobody wrench. I haven't the last thing I've been thinking about is a wrench. So I've been noticing a lot of people been telling me things like they wrench is gone. A lot of people been telling me that they all of a sudden now are unsubscribed to the channel and all of that shit, man. That's YouTube doing that shit. But I'm gonna give you a wrench right now. YouTube has been doing a lot of things to my channel. And I mean, some of y'all can see that shit. All you got to do is go look. But yeah. Yeah, they've been doing a lot of bullshit to my channel lately. But Beck, man, that's fighting this weekend real quick. Y'all know what, man? Beck be talking that cash shit too. If y'all ever go check out Beck on Twitter, like I know somebody be having to type that shit for him, but whoever be running his account be talking cash shit. Real talk. I'm talking about he one of the biggest shit talkers in boxing, and people don't realize it because he don't speak English. But whoever be running his account, they speak English. Beck is fighting. Let me see, I'm pulling up right now. He fighting a dude named Vincenzo. I don't know how to say his last name. Gutierrez. Vincenzo Gutierrez. And dude is 21-0, but he only got 7 knockouts. So in order for him to beat Beck, he gonna have to outbox him. Now, I don't know about this dude. He looked the part, but I've never seen him fight. Now, looking at his resume, he ain't fought nobody that I know on his resume. Although he got some guys that got good records, but he never fought nobody that I know of on his resume. So, I mean, from the outside looking in, I expect Beck to go in there and handle business. And he been calling out guys like Jamal Charlo. He been calling out everybody. Like, Beck won't smoke with everybody. You know, I'm not too high on Beck, but Knockout, that's his guy. That's Knockout's guy. He thinks Beck is just everything. But we gonna see, man. I expect that to be a good fight. Keyshawn Davis, he got like another tune-up level opponent. You know what I'm talking about? Because that's how they do things over there on Top Rank. They still trying to build up Keyshawn before they put him in the big fight. And you know, Keyshawn his last fight, I felt that he fought like he won every round, but he didn't do nothing to impress. He didn't close the show, and I think that he could have did a lot better than what he showed. I think that Keyshawn should have went in there and got that guy up out of there his last fight. So this fight, he's promising to go in there and get the job done, right? Because Keyshawn, man, he could have took way more chances than he did his last fight, and he didn't. So in order to, you know what I'm saying, back up all the talk that he be talking, he got to go out there. He got to put on a more impressive show. So I expect that. So, yeah. But like I said, y'all smash the like button. You know what I'm talking about? Like, smash the like button. It's free. It don't cost y'all nothing. Y'all come in here, you sitting and you watching the show in the background, and then you don't want to you don't want to smash the like button. Smash on the like button. Oh yeah, Brian Francis, that's for sure. You bet on the Top Rank card, the odds be like negative 2,500. And then, you know what I'm saying? So that, like, yeah, you can't really bet on no Top Rank. But the thing is, them odds be hella crazy, but you be getting a lot of upsets too. Like, they be putting Nico Ali Wash on there at negative 2,000, and then he go and get his ass beat. But you just looking at the odds, so you want to bet on Nico Ali Wash. But, you know, if you put him on a parlay or something, then he get his ass beat and he F up your whole parlay. So, yeah, man, them top ranked cards, you got to watch out. You got to watch out for them top ranked cards if you betting on any fights. Yeah. Mr. Holmes, what's happening with it? But like I said, for the 50 people in the building, make sure that you smash my like button. Smash on the like button. Yeah. But yeah, smash on the like button. Help me get these notifications out, because like I said, you see what YouTube is doing. I go from 300-400 people every day to now I get on here and it's 50-60 people on here. So I mean, you see that YouTube is not sending out notifications. They trying to they've been messing with my channel for a minute now. But like I said, we still on here's cooking. I got some hot topics I do want to cook on. And yeah, yesterday, man, we had the press conference with David Benavidez and Demetrius Andrade. And this is a fight that it's like, to me, when I look, it's not gaining that much attention. But this is a hell of a fight. And this is a fight that the boxing fans been calling to see Boo Boo Andrade fight somebody for years, right? One of the names that they've been calling to see him fight is David Benavidez. But now that him and David Benavidez is finna get it on, it's like it ain't getting the attention that it deserves, to me, But one thing that David said, he said that when he was facing off with Andrade, that Andrade looked like he said he seen fear in Andrade's eyes. Andrade looked like he was scared. And when Andrade was asked about it, he says he didn't deny it. He says, well, if I'm scared, if that's how he feels, well, I might be. But when I'm scared, the best comes out of me. Now, I mean, that shit sounds good, but we've seen a whole lot of scared fighters when they get in the ring, and I've yet to see a scared fighter perform his best when he get in the ring scared. Real talk. Name me a fighter that y'all seen get in the ring afraid, and then you see him put on his best performance. Like, when a fighter get in the ring scared, usually right off the rip that he's fighting scared. So I don't know what Andrade means when he's scared he gonna fight the best and that's gonna make him throw his hands more, and I don't know. Like, I don't even know if he is scared. But where he came up with that at, I've never seen a fighter, kick it on, and fight his best when he's scared. Sean 313. No, I'm not saying he was scared. That's what David Benavidez said. He said when he looked in his eyes when they was facing off, he said that he seen fear. He looked like he was scared. Now, what I did see is I seen him giving a lot of respect to David Benavidez, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, that's like, I didn't see Andrade out of character. He acted the same that he always was acting, saying goofy shit. Hi, it's me again, and all of that. So I really didn't see scared. I just seen the same goofy Andrade that I always see. You know what I'm talking about? Face-offs and stare-offs don't win fights. Kawhi Elliott says David gonna show out because he looked focused. One thing about Benavidez is he always show out. Like, to me, he always show out. He always look focused. Aiden, what's happening with it? Carl Brown in the building. Tom Rice, what's happening with it? But yeah, man, I don't know. I think it's gonna be a hell of a fight. The only thing I'm asking is that let me say this. I think that it's going to be an exciting fight because I really, really believe that David Benavidez is going to put on the show and he's going to stop. He's going to stop Demetrius Andrade. I mean, when you go from being in lackluster, no name, fighting fighters that's C and C minus level and D level fighters for about 15 straight years, and then you're 35 and they finally throw you in a fight of this magnitude on pay-per-view against a fighter like David Benavidez, that David Benavidez already fought on a big scale now. I think he's going to hit him, and it's going to hit him different. Especially getting in there with a fighter that's going to put the pressure that David Benavidez is going to put on him. He never been in the ring with nobody even close to the caliber of fighter that Benavidez is. And you're doing it at 35 years old, it's going to be different. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least with Terrence Crawford, right? He had been in there with Shawn Porter. Although Shawn Porter wasn't the in prime Shawn Porter, he wasn't in his prime, but he had been in there with Shawn Porter. He had been in there with a Gamboa, even though Gamboa was way smaller than him, but he had been in there in a fight with Gamboa. He had been in there with Green Machine, a guy that's going to put a lot of pressure on you, right? Andrade ain't been in there with them. Andrade, his biggest opponents was domestic UK level fighters. You know what I'm talking about? Their biggest fight. And then, as far as the Jamal Charlo being on the undercard against Jose Benavidez, that's a fight I don't know about, because I don't even know if Jamal Charlo gonna make it through a full training camp to show up to the fight. Like, it's a reason why Jose Benavidez has a replacement already lined up just in case, right? Just in case. Like, when I heard Jamal Charlo and they asked him about the fight, he didn't even sound sure that he was gonna make it through training camp, because they asked him about the fight and he ain't really even want to talk about the fight like that. And this was before this was during the weekend of Canelo Alvarez and his brother. They was asking him, like, you know, you fighting you fighting Jose Benavidez next, like, how you feel about that fight? And he kind of went around it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was just like, I'm back, I'm gonna be back, and this and that, but he didn't say nothing about the fight. So it's kind of like, bro, is you even confident that you gonna make it to the fight? So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, with Jamal Charlo, 1 week you'll see him focused and talking about he training with Roy Jones, and you'll see him do an interview, and he sound and look like the old Jamal Charlo. And then the next week, you'll see him, and he sound like he drunk or on some pills, and he talking erratic and slurring his words and not staying on topic. And so you don't know what you're going to get from Jamal Charlo. You know, all you can do is wish the best. But if he does make it through the training camp and he gets in the ring with Jose Benavidez, right? I don't know. Like, I don't know what product we gonna get. And that's a fight that if I was a betting man, I'm gonna stay away from, because you gotta look at, they fighting at 160, right? Now, Jamal Charlo, the last fight that we saw him in was almost 3 years ago against Juan Montiel. In that fight, we saw Jamal Charlo slug it out. It was a toe-to-toe fight that he slugged it out, right? Now, yes, Jamal Charlo is a much naturally bigger fighter than Jose Benavidez, but Jose Benavidez's fight is he wants you to stand in front of him and slug it out. Jose Benavidez has been the more active fighter, even though he ain't been that active, but he's been the more active fighter lately. I believe that he's had 3 fights, or he's going into his 3rd fight since Jamal Charlo last fought. So that's going to play a part. You know what I'm saying? Jose Benavidez, when he was at the top of his game, he was actually a very good, solid fighter. But he ain't been on top of his game since he had, since before he got shot, right? And that was, I mean, what was that, like 2014, 15? So it's been a long time. So we know that Jose Benavidez is not the same Jose Benavidez also, right? We know that he's not the same fighter that he was at 147 back when he was in his prime. Shit. Damn. Let's say, what, 2015, we're in 2023. What, like 8 years ago? 9 years ago? He been, you know what I'm saying, since we seen him in his prime. So ain't there one of them at their best. We know that. Ain't neither fighter at their best. We don't know what we gonna get from Jose Benavidez, right? We gonna get a come forward fighter that want to slug. We don't know what we gonna get from Jamal Charlo. We really don't. I mean, because are we gonna get Jamal Charlo even as good a fighter that he was the last time we seen him against Juan Montiel? And he wasn't even that good the last time we seen him. If you ask me, no. Because you can't even, it ain't no way that we can get a product even as good as we seen him last time against Montiel if he been on the shelf for 3 years. So you take the product that you got last time versus Montiel, and you got to at least take 20% from that product. So now when you get in the ring against Jose Benavidez, somebody that you should be levels above, now it might be a 50-50 fight. It might be a 50-50 fight now. And let's keep it a buck. You getting a Jamal Charlo that's not completely sober. And I hate to say this, right, because I don't like to speculate and I don't like to put shit on a jacket on nobody, but come on, man. It's only common sense that when we saw Jamal Charlo do that interview, right? If y'all seen him do the interview, and I believe it was World Combat Sports that did the interview with him about less than a month ago when he was out there with Roy Jones. And then we seen Jamal Charlo go on Instagram Live last week. What was it, last week or a week and a half or whatever ago? Whole different person. Speech was different. Acting different. Everything. So we know he ain't fully sober. You know what I'm saying? We know he's not fully sober. Now, that fight is, let's see, we about a month and a half out from that fight. That ain't long enough once you dibble and dabbing back and forth. You know what I'm saying? That's not long. That ain't long enough. So I'm not betting on him to win that fight. Neither am I betting on Jose Benavidez to win the fight. It's a 50-50 fight. I'll just be comfortable sitting back and watching. Jermaine Bean says, nigga might pull an Oliver McCall. Yeah, I mean, you can't put it past him. Shit. Dank says, who's ranked higher, 135, Cruz or De Los Santos? I don't know who ranked higher. Oh, he talking to somebody else. I don't know who ranked higher, but I'll answer that question for you. It don't matter to me who ranked higher. I know who the better fighter is, and De Los Santos is a much better fighter than Issac Cruz. Let's not start trying to pretend like Issac Cruz all of a sudden is a good fighter because your favorite fighter is fighting him, might be fighting him next again. But we're going to talk about that later. We're not finna do that because, see, that's another problem with boxing today, that a lot of fans, they start wanting to make excuses when they know their favorite fighter. And I'm not saying you or no, I'm not calling out nobody, right? I'm just saying fans overall. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers be wanting to start making excuses if they know their favorite fighter is fighting somebody that's some shit, right? Let's just keep it 100. You know what I'm talking about? Deontay Wilder is my favorite fighter. And I'm going to keep it real and I'm going to talk about myself because I usually ain't the type of person that do this type of shit. But now that I think about it, I probably did it when it came to Wilder. Wilder, he came and he was fighting Robert. No, I don't know. I don't know. But Wilder came and he was fighting Robert Helenius his last fight, right? In my mind, I probably, when I talked about Helenius, I probably made him a better fighter than he actually was because Wilder was fighting. Well, man, Helenius is dangerous. You seen what he did to motherfucking Kalnaki his last fight, man. Robert Helenius is he a solid fighter for Wilder to be coming back and fighting. When we know Robert Helenius is some shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to use myself. But I rarely do that, right? I rarely do shit like that because I keep it a buck. But I probably did it when it came to Wilder. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But yeah, so we gonna, like I said, we gonna cook on that. And y'all make sure that y'all hit my like button and share this live stream because they don't send my shit out like that no more. They not letting people see my shit on YouTube like that no more. They really not. But yeah. De Los Santos is a much better fighter than Issac Cruz. De Los Santos is one of the few fighters that you could call an all-around fighter. He could crack and he could box. But we gonna, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think there's really a compare. Like we see Issac Cruz time and time again be a motherfucker that fight like he a goddamn a raging bull. Come forward. Throw looping shots the whole fight. Throw looping body shots and you know what I'm saying, just wild as hell. Niggas, he's trash. I've always said that. And the only reason he even was able to survive 12 rounds against Tank the first fight is because Tank fought him with one hand and made him look like some trash. You know what I'm talking about? Motherfucker fight you with one hand and make you look like some trash. Like, come on, bro. You shouldn't be a professional fighter, and a fighter can make you look like trash with one hand. But like I said, we gonna talk about that later. We gonna talk about that later. You know what I'm saying? Trayshawn Edwards, what it do? But yeah. But I hope, right, going back to David Benavidez and Demetrius Andrade, great main event that people been asking for. I hope that they give us a great undercard, but we'll see. We'll see. Now, later on, I'm going to tell y'all right now, right? For the people that's in the building, smash the like button, right? But later on, has nothing to do with fighters. I'm going to talk about some shit later on that a lot of y'all might not like. You know what I'm saying? So if you're sensitive, you might want to log out. You might want to go ahead and just dip out before I get to talking, because some of y'all probably ain't going to like what I'm going to say a little bit later on. So, if you're sensitive, and you might want to leave, you know what I'm saying, now or before I get to cooking, because I'm finna cook about some shit. I'm finna really cook about some shit in a little bit. And it don't have nothing to do with your favorite fighter. So I'll tell you that right now. But, John Kramer, what's happening with it? With the 2 kilos on his neck. Bugger Man says Tank fans claim he's the best, but he doesn't try to prove it against the best. Yeah, we gonna talk about that, man. We're gonna talk about that. But I think that Tank got the most loyal fans. He got the biggest fan base of any of these fighters. Devin Haney fans is creeping up on Tank fans, though. The Devin Haney diehard fans is creeping up on Tank fans, but they just not buying and selling out arenas like Tank fans is doing. So, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Shakur, Shakur, man, he's in the minority. Like, Shakur fan base, man, is very small compared to Devin Haney and Shakur to Devin Haney fan base, right? For sure. And it's not, you can't even near compare it to Tank's fan base. But Shakur, he the one that seems like he don't even really got a fan base. But when he fight, the arenas is packed. I don't know, man. So it's, I don't know. Explain that to me. Everybody hates Shakur. They need to come out with a sitcom called Everybody Hates Shakur. And I know where that, and let's just keep it 100. We know where that came from. A group of platforms, and they got to reach. And if they preaching to everybody every day to hate Shakur, and Shakur ain't shit, and the motherfucker this, and motherfucker, people going to run with that. You know what I'm saying? People going to run with that. But it's people actually, you know what I'm saying, running to pack out fights when Devin Haney fight. That's all I'm asking. Cause that shit is that shit sounds good, and the preaching, all of that sounds good. But are y'all going to pack out the arena when Devin Haney fight? That's all I'm asking. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm asking. Cause at the end of the day, y'all can do all of that shit you want to, but you still talking about him and you still making his name bigger. You don't want people to support Shakur because y'all hate him and he this and that. But you're still talking about him. See, if I talk about Devin Haney, I'm going to keep it 100. I don't hate Devin Haney. And I actually want people to support Devin Haney because I believe that other than that bullshit that he was doing, acting like he was going to fight Shakur at 135 and all that lying, I believe that Devin Haney is doing good for the sport because he's always fighting the best. Whether it's the fighter that you want him to fight or I want him to fight, he's still fighting the best fighters. You know what I'm saying? Or some of the best fighters. Let me say that. He's still fighting some of the best fighters. So I'm straight, you know what I'm saying? I'm not finna push no narrative to try to make Devin Haney look like, oh man, I hate that motherfucker. I hear some of these niggas on their oh man, fuck Shakur, man, I hate that motherfucker. Woo. Like, bro, you like for real? Like that nigga makes you that mad? Because he talked bad about Devin Haney, like damn. Like shit. Okay, all right. But anyway, moving along, man. You know what I noticed, right? You know what I did notice, man, about boxing The real boxing that we watch compared to, this Logan Paul and KSI and Fury and all that event that's going on, that what do you want to call it? What do you want to call it? That shit, y'all know what I'm talking about. They actually have a much better promoters, right? They promote those events way better. And you know what? Them characters, because I was watching some of that shit. I'm watching the weigh-ins and the face-off between them dudes, the exhibitions or whatever you want to call it. I'm watching the weigh-ins and the face-offs between them guys. And they shit is much more entertaining than these real boxers do. I was like, damn, when I watched it, I was like, damn, I actually want to see that now. Like, they did shit, even though I know it's just exhibitions and they don't have a skill set like that. The actual showmanship that they had made me want to see it. Like, it actually made me want to watch it. And that's one thing that these fighters is missing nowadays. You know what I'm talking about? These motherfuckers is boring. Like, you don't see press conferences with fighters talking that big shit no more. Especially on like Showtime, like the most of these press conferences, these motherfuckers getting up there and none of them speak English. You watching a press conference and ain't none of them can speak English. And you sitting up there, right? And we watch it because we just gonna watch it because we boxing fans. But I'm sitting up there and I'm thinking, if I'm not a boxing fan, I don't want to see this shit. They're not giving me nothing to want to see. And then I go to that exhibition shit with the Logan Paul and the KSI and the Dylan Dennis. I'm like, these motherfuckers is lit. Like, I didn't even want to watch it before, but now I watch the weigh-in and the build-up. I'm like, damn, and this is from me just scroll. Like, this is honest, right? I'm giving y'all some real shit right here, right? Not biased, just, right? Because I got to look at it from a perspective of not being a fan, right? And I'm scrolling down Twitter, or whatever they call it now, X space or whatever it's called now, right? I'm scrolling and I'm seeing people post clips of the weigh-ins and all in the face-offs, and I'm like, damn, I want to see this shit now. Like, I actually want to see that event on Saturday. And I'm actually, like, I really want to see that shit, and it's just for me seeing the build-up. Boxing these motherfuckers don't have no build-up no more. Like, they'll do a press conference and these niggas want to be respectful. They want to shake hands and it's like, and then you got 95% of the dudes up on the panel, they can't speak English. So they say some shit and then we gotta wait 5 minutes for the interpreter to fucking run back what they just said. And I'm like, bro, this shit ain't exciting. It like, what happened to AB? The ABs and the Mayweathers and like, these motherfuckers ain't talking about shit now. Real talk. Shit crazy as hell, man. Money, what it do? What it do, money? What's happening with it? Nick J, what's good with it? Salute. But yeah, so the acting or entertaining that they do, it actually make you want to see it, right? And people that's just scrolling, it make them want to see it if they not even a fan. Like, we looking at this shit as a perspective as being a diehard boxing fan. So we know these fighters and we know, you know what I'm saying, they skill set and we know all of that. Most people looking, they don't know all of that. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers, they don't know who the fucker Keyshawn Davis or goddamn Beck or some of these foreign they don't know who these dudes is. If they flipping and scrolling, they don't know who the fuck this motherfucker is speaking in goddamn Portuguese. They flipping right past that shit. And that's some real talk. That's it, and I'm keeping it real with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Just because we want to watch the shit because we are diehard, but like, you know what I'm saying? Real talk. Even a casual boxing fan. Real talk. Even a casual boxing fan. Gina, she right here. She a casual boxing fan. She see one of them motherfucking press conferences. She gonna flip. She don't want to see that shit. It ain't giving her nothing to watch. They're not making, like, you have to do some shit to get people that don't know who you are, that don't know what's going on, excited to want to actually tune in. Like, man, they talking cash shit. Like, damn, I actually want to see them fight now. And that's what happened with me when I was scrolling, you know what I'm saying, down X Space or Twitter, and I saw people putting up all the clips of, you know, this event with KSI and Fury and all them dudes. It made me want to watch the shit just because of how the build up, the shit that they was doing. We had them motherfuckers, they had a glass, right? They had like a bulletproof glass in between them in the face off, and they was kicking the motherfucking glass and punching the shit and cussing each other out and acting like that they were gonna ram through the glass, and you know, and then you had all these dudes in the weigh-in getting up there talking cash shit, you know, and I was like, man, this kind of entertaining. Now I want to see if they can actually fight. I want to see what they can actually do inside the ring, and you ain't getting that in boxing. You think that AB would have been as big as he was if he had a motherfucking interpreter and speaking for him? Like, real talk, if AB was Dominican and he couldn't talk and you ain't know what he was saying, you think he would be as big as he was? If AB wasn't out there telling his daddy to brush his motherfucking hair after he won, you think no. He made himself big because he made you, and he talked shit, and he made you want to watch him to see what he was going to do. Michael Ray says, need more Charlo versus Harrison type press conferences. Like, y'all motherfuckers is boring. Boxing, you die-hard boxing fans is boring as shit. Y'all think everybody think like y'all do. That's why the sport ain't growing. For real. Like, y'all got to think outside the box. Everybody don't know who these dudes is. They don't. They really don't. Them press conferences be boring as fuck now. Like, I'm used to Mike Tyson, you know what I'm saying, going out there high as motherfucker on cocaine, doing crazy shit in the press conference. Now it's kind of like, what's happening around the business? Now it's kind of like, oh, well, I respect my opponent, and come Saturday night, you know, I mean, it's just, you know, everybody's going to see what I've been working on in training camp, and you know, by the pay-per-view, we're going to put on a hell of a show. Okay, that's it. And they shake hands and stare off, and the press conference is over. And then you got motherfucking 16 other motherfuckers up there speaking goddamn Portuguese and Spanish and shit. And we gotta wait. The whole hour and a half press conference is us waiting for the translator to translate every word that this dude said. Like, come on, bro. Nah. And like I said, yeah, I'm watching it. I'm excited because I know who these people are, but the average person, it ain't giving them nothing to watch. You ain't even going like Let's just keep it 100. Y'all ain't even showing clips, right? Y'all not even announcing these fighters and showing clips of knockouts that they, you know what I'm saying, that they had in the past. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? You could at least show clips, like, okay, such and such, and show his clip of a devastating knockout or fights that he had. You ain't even showing that. But anyway, Jermaine Wood says the press conference are boring because most fighters don't have animosity or hate for other fighters. Yeah, but bro, you gotta have some showmanship. Like, and these motherfuckers think they supposed to come big superstars and they don't do shit. I was like, bro, you can't. Like, that's why I fuck with De Los Santos, because he can't really speak English, but he still be trying to talk shit. Shakur, I'm in your hood. You know what I'm saying? He pulled up to that man hood. He pulled up to Shakur neighborhood in the motherfucking bricks and told Shakur he gonna beat his ass. He trying. It's shit like that, man. These dudes ain't. Keyshawn Davis. You know why a lot of y'all hate Keyshawn Davis but you talk about Keyshawn Davis all the time? Because he stay running his mouth. He stayed doing interviews talking about what he gonna do to somebody. Even if he don't do it in the ring, he's a showman. You know what I'm saying? He's a showman. So yeah, man, it's a lot of shit that these fighters got to do to catch up, man. Because like I said, man, when it was popping, like when I was growing up, even in the mid 2000s, like fighters was doing shit. Now these fighters, man, it's like I don't know what the fuck going on. You know what I'm saying? NH2 says Keyshawn the most talked about 8-0 fighter. Facts. Yeah, because he always running his mouth. Fuck what people talk. Oh man, we can't, man, fuck Keyshawn, man. Keyshawn the bitch, and but you're still on your channel talking about him because he rubbed you some type of way. Whether it was the wrong way or the right way, you were still talking about him. But yeah, man, let's go ahead and move on and cook, man. You know. So I'm gonna go into that, right? Before I get to talking about Tank, I want to cook on Showtime and the PBC for a minute. And so y'all can go ahead and exit out the building because a lot of y'all ain't gonna like what I say, because I see a lot of motherfuckers, they're pro Showtime or pro PBC or pro this, and bro, I'm pro who gonna give me the best fights and give me the best product, right? But I'm gonna tell y'all where Showtime and the PBC went wrong from the very, very beginning. Where they went wrong, where they fucked up, right? Both. Because we know that PBC is not Showtime and Showtime ain't PBC, but all together, where they fucked up and where they went wrong. Now, in the beginning, when PBC started, of course, they was not on Showtime, right? Let me read this. Let me read this super chat. My man A1 Who's on. What's happening with it? A1. He says, nah, I hate his goofy ass because he blink hard than a motherfucker when he talk. He gotta be the genius. He gotta be in the Guinness Book of World Records for blinking that hard. He talk with his eyes. ETB, you gotta echo when you talking. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know I had an echo. I don't know. Hold on. Let me check my let me see if I could check. Is anybody else here echo when I'm talking? Let me see. I don't know. Does anybody else hear echo when I'm talking? Brian Francis said he don't hear no echo. Maybe that's just your phone fucked up, A1 Who's On. maybe you need to go ahead and return your phone, bro. Everybody else say I'm good. You the only one that think I got an echo. But yeah, as far as Keyshawn Davis' eyes blinking, I don't be looking in that man's eyes that much, bro. I wasn't really gazing in his eyes enough to see how many times he blinked his eyes during an interview. So I mean, A1, you my guy, but you might be on your own when it comes to that one. Yolanda says it sounds like I'm in the bathroom. Shit, I just might be. Oh no. But I don't know. I don't know. You know, I can't do nothing about that. But anyway, he said it's a room echo. It's all good. Yeah, I don't know. I'm using the sound like I'm in the room with no furniture. Well, shit. Can you do me a favor, London Dixon? Can you cash out me some money so I can go buy some furniture? I really appreciate that. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, it's probably, I don't know, maybe because the room I'm in big. I don't know. It's probably because I'm in a big room. Yeah, it might be because I'm in the big room. I don't know. I noticed I'll be having to go, literally, when I do my videos, I'll be having to go outside because when I do my videos in the house, like I do hear an echo in here. I don't know. Yeah, it do be an echo. So I know, I kind of know what y'all talking about. But anyway, moving along. Like I said, make sure that some of y'all dip out. If you pro PBC or pro Showtime, once again, I'm pro whoever give me the best product. Now I'm going to tell y'all where Showtime and PBC went wrong. I'm going to tell y'all where PBC went wrong from the very, very beginning. Now, we couldn't see this, right? We couldn't see it, but other promoters saw it. Remember when Bob Arum and Oscar De La Hoya and these other promotional companies, they tried to sue Al Heyman. One of the things that they sued him for, right? One of the things was because they were saying that he was trying to act as a promoter, that he was basically the promoter and the advisor at the same time. I don't care about none of that. Like, that shit don't have nothing to do with the product that I'm watching, right? Another thing that they was complaining about is they said that he came in the game and he was paying his fighters too much to fight bullshit fights, right? Now, I wasn't really paying attention. Like, I'm like, man, they on some bullshit. They just hating, right? And they was basically saying that it was going to fuck up the game in the long run, right? Now, the PBC, when they first came in, we you know what I'm saying? Like, we was getting the product. We was getting them on NBC. We was getting them on Spike TV. We was getting them. We wasn't really giving a fuck what these fighters was getting paid, right? We wasn't really caring what Dank Larkin. Let me get to my point before you start talking about this year, right? That's the point I'm going to lead up to is what we getting this year. Yeah, we getting the product this year, but let me cook before you start jumping to conclusions. Let me get to what I'm saying, where I'm going to get to, right? Now, back to where I was saying. We weren't really caring about none of that, right? And they was complaining that they was giving us, that they was giving, you know, their top fighters shit fights, but paying them a whole lot of money, which was none of my fucking business. I really didn't care what they were getting paid, right? And the fighters, they were actually, you know what I'm saying? Like, all they fighters, they was talking about how great Al Heyman is and how much they was getting paid and all of that shit, right? Because we didn't really care because we were getting most of them fights for free. Whatever they was getting paid and whatever fights we was getting as a boxing fan, we was getting those fights for free, so we wasn't tripping on none of that shit, right? Now, as time went on, you seen the fighters that we was able to see 3 times a year fight in 2015 and 2016. Now we like, man, my favorite fighter, these motherfuckers fighting once a year, every year and a half, once every year and a half. Why we ain't never seeing these fighters fight? And you wonder, like, damn. And if you do see your favorite fighter fight, they only fighting once a year. And if you real lucky, every once in a blue moon, they might fight twice in the same year. But that shit was slim. And you wondering, like, what happened, right? But the fighters, they was always bragging about how much they were getting paid. We was hearing AB talking about shit. I'm getting paid such and such, man. He told Jay-Z to suck his dick. Al Heyman paying me. Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, all them fighters. Errol Spence, we getting paid over here at the PBC. Danny Garcia, we getting paid. Then all of a sudden, years go by, and like I said, they wasn't fighting. And the real thing is, a lot of them fighters, they got used to what was going on the first 2-3 years. They got used to the big paydays that they was getting. But when that money slowed down, we can't afford to pay you them big ass paydays and then have you fight twice and 3 times a year. Now, if you want them big paydays, shit, we're going to have to sit y'all on the shelf, and we only can afford to pay you once a year. You know what I'm saying? We can't pay Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia and Errol Spence. We can't pay y'all them big mega dollars 2 and 3 times a year. Now it's like, now you got fighters. Well, you know, I mean, we want to fight. We just waiting to see what happened. And every time, if you notice, that Errol Spence told you, you know, I'm looking to fight 3 times this year, or I want to at least fight 3 times this year. Then they announce a fight, and they was playing with these fighters. They'll say, oh yeah, he'll be back in October. The next thing you know, October done passed, November done passed, December done passed, February done passed, March done passed, April done passed, June done passed. Now it's July and they finally back. See, I noticed that shit and I talked about it a long time ago, but people got to crying, talking about, oh man, PBC is putting on the best shows, and that wasn't the point, right? Because it was few and far between. But, right, and then down the line, right, the money started thinning. Then they start giving us pay-per-views like Chris Arreola and Andrew Weeds. They start giving us pay-per-views like, and this is Showtime now. Now we done moved on to Showtime, right? They start giving us pay-per-views like Chris Arreola and Andrew Weeds. Because Andrew Weeds, he want to get paid. But now we got to try to see if we can put him on Showtime to give him even close to what he want. They giving us motherfucking Luis Ortiz and Charles Martin. Those are free TV fights, but now you gotta pay to see that. And don't jump off in here talking about, oh man, what DAZN was doing and what Top Rank was doing. That's not the point, right? Because I'm just talking about where PBC and Showtime went wrong, right? So I'm not trying to compare what DAZN was doing and all of that, because that is not the topic. And I didn't even see the comment. I swear to y'all, I didn't see nobody say that. I promise y'all, I put that on my kids. I didn't see nobody say that. But now that I look down in my comment, and the first comment that I see, DAZN blew a lot of bread too, but they actually invested a lot of it on the platform. We not talking about that, bro. See, that's what I'm saying. This is not a, oh man, I'm pro PBC and Showtime and I don't like DAZN. Once again, I'm not talking about that, bro. I don't give a fuck with none of these. I'm talking about one specific topic. I'm not trying to compare what DAZN was doing and what nobody was doing. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not. That's not what I'm doing, right? Because I'm not pro no platform. I'm pro whoever got the best fights. Now we know that DAZN and the shit that the product that they putting out half of the time ain't shit, right? But the reason I'm talking about this is because Showtime and PBC are a topic of discussion because Showtime has decided not to renew their contract with the PBC and they're moving away from boxing completely, right? So that's why I'm talking about this, right? So moving along, right? Then, like I said, they start giving us fights that should have been on motherfucking free TV, and now it's on pay-per-view because now you done gave all of this big ass money up front, but you didn't plan right for the back end. Right? And that's what a lot of networks and promoters do when they starting up some shit. But see, that's what Top Rank, that's what Bob Arum and De La Hoya and all of them, what they was crying about, because they were saying now these fighters, they gonna get greedy. And now these fighters, they ain't gonna want to fight unless they getting paid at least $5 million a fight. You know what I'm saying? And then you got motherfuckers getting paid $5 million for Sean Porter to fight motherfucking goddamn Ivan Redcatch or some shit. You see what I'm saying? And we wasn't really paying attention to it. And I didn't really start paying attention to it until about 2 years ago. I started really talking about how these motherfucking fighters is always on the shelf, right? They're always sitting on the shelf. Jermaine Bean says AB, Spence, Thurman, Gary, even Tank was fighting once a year, right? And I'm like, how are you going to build a fighter up to be a household name if you only see him once a year or every year and a half, or once every year and a half? And salute to my man Jermaine Bean. And y'all make sure that y'all smash my like button, because whether y'all want to hear it or not, I'm giving y'all game. I'm letting y'all know where they fucked up from the beginning to the end. And I ain't even got to the end yet. So y'all make sure that y'all smash my like button, right? Smash on the like button. Get the likes up. Share this video. Share this live stream and help me get this out to other people, because they don't really send my notifications out like that no more, right? So now it's affecting the fans, right? Now fans I wouldn't give it a damn, because shit, I don't care what these fighters getting paid, but now I care because I want to see my favorite fighters fight, and now I'm only seeing them fight once a year or once every year and a half. Because now y'all don't want to pay them what they asking. Y'all don't want to pay them what they're demanding and what they've been asking for, because y'all ain't got the budget. Y'all got 300 other fighters that you got to try to put on TV or, give fights to and pay, right? Now, when Showtime came in the picture and PBC started mainly fucking with Showtime, I'm going to tell you where Showtime fucked up, right? Because that was just the part where PBC, right, themselves messed up. I'm going to tell you where Showtime fucked up. Queen Sheena, what's going on with it? Anthony, what's happening with it? I'm going to show you where Showtime fucked up, right? Where Showtime fucked up. And a lot of people ain't gonna like this. If you're Hispanic, you're probably gonna feel some type of way about this. But me, I like all fighters. I don't give a fuck if you black, blue, or brown. But it's about the talent, right? So you get mad if you want to. It is what it is. We're talking about the talent and what they are putting out there, right? PBC was, when they first jumped on the scene, they was looked at and they was hated on because, you know, people that wasn't black, they was calling PBC, oh, the Al Heyman, those Heymans, the PBCers and all that. And we know what that meant. What that meant was the black promotional company, the black network, because when they came on the scene, all the black fighters was fucking with PBC. They was displaying the Adrian Brunners, the Sean Porters, the Errol Spencers, the Danny Jacobs, the Kid Chocolates, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of the fighters that they was putting on were black fighters. But if you noticed, that was 2015, 2016, 2017. But as you notice, as time went on and evolved, you've seen less and less black fighters, which, like I said, whoever can fight, they can fight. It don't really matter, right? But as time went on, you've seen less and less black fighters. Now, when the PBC, when they got away from Fox and they just started strictly doing business with Showtime mostly, right? Steven Espinoza, Hispanic. Everybody's still looking at PBC as the black network. Steven Espinoza is not black. And you noticed it from the things that changed at PBC. You wasn't seeing black fighters like that fight. It was more Hispanic fighters. It was way more Hispanic fighters on PBC that were getting showcased. And where they fucked up at is the fighters that they handpicked to build. It was the fighters that they handpicked to build. Because instead of trying to build fighters like Gary Antoine Russell, who has all knockouts, y'all was giving me motherfucking Joey Spencer every time I looked up. Y'all was giving me the Ramos brothers and motherfucking Vito Melanicki. And you wasn't building the fighters that actually had the talent like that. The only reason Jerron Bruce Ennis got as many fights as he have is because Jerron Bruce Ennis was managed by Cameron Duncan. And he had a shitload of fights before he really, you know what I'm saying, got into that Showtime contract. Y'all wasn't displaying the talent that you should have been displaying. You started focusing on, because a lot of people in the boxing world, they feel that the Mexican fighters in the Mexican fan base, if you build their fighters, they're going to bring you more money. Like real talk. Let's just keep it a buck. So they focused on building a certain race of fighter instead of building the fighter that really showing talent. Let's just keep it a buck. This ain't about, to me, like I said, it ain't about what color you is. It's about the talent. But to them, they was trying to focus on building the Hispanic fighters. And then they was trying to focus on building to get a white fan base back in boxing. Why are you trying to build Vito Melanicki and fucking and Isaac Pitbull Cruz, right? Why are you putting Isaac Pitbull Cruz and trying to put all your money into building him up when you got fighters like Gary Antoine Russell, and now we only getting to see him once every year, but the motherfucker got knockouts every fight like Gervonta Davis do? Why is Jerron Bruce Ennis got to complain that, and people got to complain that well, we ain't taking the fight against Jaron Ennis because he's low risk. I mean, he's high risk and low reward. He's a high risk and, well, you're supposed to be building him, right? Because you know the talent that he has. So you're supposed to be paying fighters more money to get in the ring with him just so you can build his status. But you're focusing on building fighters like Issac Pitbull Cruz, Joey Spencer, Vito Melanicki, and just like a bunch of Hispanic fighters that it is what it is. They don't have the talent as these certain other fighters that are not the race that you're trying to build up. And I don't give a fuck how y'all feel about it. That's the facts. That shit became apparent to me a long time ago that they was focusing on trying to build up a certain race of fighters instead of building up the talent. A lot of them fighters, they didn't have the talent. Real talk. So when you got motherfuckers that come in my chat talking about, oh man, it sounds like a lot of PBC hate, man, fuck you. For real, straight up and down. That's how I feel about what the fuck you feel and what you talking about. Fuck what you talking about. Because one thing that I noticed is when you say some real shit and you keep it a buck, motherfuckers don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear you keep it a buck. Because if I wasn't keeping it a buck and what I saying wasn't real, Showtime wouldn't have to go away from boxing. Real talk. Because if the shit was thriving, Showtime ain't going away from boxing. Just like HBO was trying to build motherfucking foreign fighters. HBO started trying to build the European fighters. They were doing the same shit over there on HBO. They went away from trying to build talent because they was like, okay, well, we want to build the European fighters because we feel like that they're better. And they focused on strictly building the European fighters, and that shit and they fucking program went downhill, and HBO looked at that shit and they was like, y'all not producing enough money. We're going to have to back away from boxing. So it's not like Showtime was the only one that did it. It ain't like Showtime was the only one that did it. We seen it happen. Steven Espinoza took control, right? He was the one ahead of Showtime. And I got to keep it a buck. It went to some shit. Now people want to talk about, well, they're giving us the biggest and best fights. What happened, y'all? Now at the end, see what happened is at the end, when they start putting their foot in his ass and start telling him, this shit ain't, we gonna have to back away. You gonna fuck around and lose your job, and we're gonna step away from sports. Cause what you doing ain't cutting it, dog. Now, 2023, we all of a sudden we getting all the fights that we was asking for fucking years. Y'all don't notice that shit? Yeah, we just happy we getting the fights. But y'all, why y'all ain't ask why we ain't getting motherfucking David Benavidez and Caleb Plant 4 years ago? Why are we getting all these fights on Showtime now at the end? Y'all don't fucking realize what's going on? So you mean to tell me now in 2023, they was able to put all these big ass fights together? And I'm not talking about, you know what I'm saying, arrows. I'm talking about as a whole. In 2023, they was able to put all these big ass fights together, but for all these motherfucking years, we weren't able to get none of these big ass fights that we was asking for. But y'all don't fucking see. Y'all don't realize that. But get mad at me because I'm keeping it a buck and putting y'all on some game that a lot of y'all might have not seen. That's the truth. Now it's crunch time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they giving them big fights now. All of a sudden. And y'all make sure y'all hit my like button. Smash on the like button. Smash on the like button. And I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all, right? Fred, right? Fred was saying a lot of this shit, but Fred, he's so ignorant with the other shit that he say. He'll say some trill shit, but he'll cover it up by saying a whole bunch of dumbass, ignorant, arrogant shit on top of it, right? Man, I, Frederick Hawthorne, you know, and little Steven Espinoza and Al Heyman, bro, that wasn't, people wasn't trying to listen to that, anything that you were saying that made sense, because you had a personal vendetta against Steven Espinoza and Al Heyman. When Steven Espinoza and Al Heyman, they didn't give a fuck about you. So like I said, the shit that you did say that might have been making sense, nobody wanted to hear that shit because you was rubbing people the wrong way, because you was covering it up with a whole bunch of dumb other shit. So he was saying some shit, right? He was saying some shit, but he was just covering it up with a whole bunch of bullshit and personal vendetta that he had, right? I talked about this a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? I talked about this a long time ago, and my whole thing that I was just pointing out is just like, well, if I'm a fighter, I wouldn't go with the PBC if I'm a young fighter that have talent, because I don't want to have to be sitting on the shelf for a year, right? People know I always talked about how they weren't the best at building young talent, right? Like, come on, man. Why Gary Antoine Russell? That man got every fight he been in. What he like 18-0 with 18 knockouts. Exciting fighter. Articulates himself very well. Can talk that shit too. But don't nobody know who he is. But more people know who motherfucking Joey Spencer and Issac Cruz is than Gary Antoine Russell. And y'all gonna sit here and tell me that they didn't focus on building a certain type of racer fighter instead of the fighters that got talent? All of the talent that Gary Russell had, and I'm talking about Gary Russell Sr., all the talent that he had, y'all ain't putting no effort in building that man. Let me say Jerron Business, right? Jerron Business, star ability, right? Star ability. A fighter that he got the look, he got everything to be a motherfucking superstar. But you have a Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence mega fight. You know that Bud and Errol Spence are both leaving the weight division. 147-pound division throughout history has always been one of the biggest weight divisions that fans want to watch, right? And you put Isaac Pitbull Cruz against Giovanni's, whatever the dude name was, as the co-main event to Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, instead of putting Jerron Ennis and Vila as the co-main event to segue Jerron Boost Ennis being the next superstar that you're building up. But I don't know what I'm talking about, right? When Don King was running shit in the 90s, that's how they build fighters. They will put the up-and-coming star on the undercard of the superstar. Brian Francis, that's my whole point. You should not put Ennis on his own card when putting Ennis on as the co-main event, right, of Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence is going to hit way harder. You build the fighter of his caliber up like that before you start putting him on his own card. Because you're putting him on his own card, but the same people that didn't know about him last 5 months ago when he fought, 6 months ago, a year ago, or whenever he fought, are the same people that don't know about him that day when he fight again because you didn't do what you're supposed to do to build him up. You know what I'm saying? You didn't do what you were supposed to do to build him up. He's supposed to be on, if he's a superstar like that, these fighters like Gary Antoine Russell, you putting all of these motherfucking, bro, I'm going to keep it 100. You putting all these Leo Santa Cruzes and motherfucking Isaac Cruzes and Mario Barrios and Joey Spencers and Vito Melanicki's. You putting all them type of fighters on your biggest pay-per-view undercards, but you ain't never put no Gary Antoine Russell on the pay-per-view and undercard. You put Jaron Ennis on one pay-per-view undercard. How the fuck do you build these? That's how you're supposed to be building these fighters up. You're supposed to be having them fighting for free. And then when they're not fighting for free, you're supposed to be showcasing them as co-main events on the biggest event. But you're not doing none of that. And then you expect these fighters to be able to build themselves into mega stars, into household names. Tank Davis got lucky because he was with Floyd Mayweather, whether you want to admit it or not. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. So like I said, get mad if you want to, but that's the truth. So that's where they went wrong. And as far as building talent, not race, talent, Steven Espinoza didn't know what the fuck he was doing. See, that shit wasn't on Al Haymon because Al Haymon, Al Haymon don't put no fight cards together. Al Haymon ain't doing none of that. Al Haymon, the money man. He not in charge of none of that. So the people that was in charge of that, the Tom Browns and the fucking Steven Espinozas, they the ones that dropped the ball. Booger Man says you don't get exposure on your own card. How many people saw Spence versus Bud card? They would have seen Boots too. Exactly. That's how you build a superstar. Now everybody that's watching Errol Spence and Bud, and then Boots just put on a dominating performance and he calling out both of them. Now everybody want to see, man, I want to see Boots fight this dude. Who is this dude, Boots? Not building them like that. Because you much rather put motherfucking Issac Cruz as the co-main event. Because y'all looking to try to make Issac Cruz a superstar. So anyway, man. But anyway, you know, so if for everybody that's in the comments trying to take up for this shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, it don't make no sense for me because you're a fan of the sport. So you should want to see these things that I'm talking about. You should want to see this shit ran right. You should want to see this shit ran right. You're not about to see Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, or none of them fighters until 2024. Steven Espinoza just did an interview and basically told y'all he got one more fight card coming in December, And that shit might be Floyd Mayweather. He said that he would love for it to be Floyd Mayweather. And they asked him about Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia. And he said, well, there's rumors they might fight, but we don't know. We don't even know what network it might be on next time they fight. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's shit crazy, man. So you think that these guys know what they doing and shit, you would think, but they fucked up. They dropped the ball. They went about the shit wrong. They went about the shit wrong, real talk. It don't have shit to do with illegal streaming, because when I see Top Rank event, I see Top Rank giving you fire cards. Whether it's on ESPN Plus, they shit be stacked. So we're not talking about no illegal streaming, because you don't have to, because another problem is why come on, man, all them fights wasn't on pay-per-view. Even the Showtime fights that you was giving us. What product were they putting out when we was getting the fights just on regular Showtime? They was giving us all Hispanic fighters, and a lot of them fighters didn't have the talent of some of these other fighters that I was naming. So let's stop with the bullshit and trying to make excuses just because motherfuckers is acting like this is gang territory and shit. And, oh man, we PBC. This is Showtime and PBC over here. Nah, man, it ain't got nothing to do with that. And that's some more bullshit that fans start doing, dividing networks and shit. Oh, I'm with PBC and Showtime, or I'm with the Zone and Top Rank. Bro, man, as a fan, be a fan, and it's about, man, who is putting on the best product. And when you talk about just pure fights, exciting fights from top to bottom, Top Rank put on the most exciting fights on the regular basis. When they put on the card, a lot of that, even if they not big name fighters, they be a lot of exciting fights. Top Rank went and grabbed all of the fucking talent out of the Olympics. You know why all of the best talent start going over to Top Rank? Not because of what Bob Arum was paying, because they wasn't paying like that. It was because they knew they was going to have a chance to fight more frequently. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? More frequently. That's it. Once again, Kaijan, the company has no interest in boxing because they looked at the numbers and the numbers wasn't doing what the fuck they were supposed to do for them to say, okay, yeah, this is thriving. It's business. Do y'all not have common sense? If a business is booming and it's a company that's going and buying it out, they're looking at the numbers to see what's going on. If the shit is booming, they're not moving away from boxing, because what sense was that make? But if the numbers ain't adding up, yeah, we buying this company and we cool on that. We don't, you know what I'm saying? We're going to move away from that because the numbers is not making sense for us to stay in this business. It's fucking common sense. Why did Showtime move away from boxing? Because like I just said, Showtime, they focused on building the Eastern European fighter. And once they start doing that, the viewership went down. Straight up and down. Straight up and down. That's what. Now I'm not missing no point. You missing the point because a lot of y'all don't act like y'all don't have common sense. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't as profitable because they weren't running the shit right. You know what I'm saying? It was not as profitable because they weren't running it like they were supposed to be doing. And a lot of the fighters that should have been being showcased, they were sitting them on the shelf. Tell me that. Since y'all got the answers for everything and you want to act like that y'all motherfucking want to, every time somebody say something about Showtime or PBC, y'all want to come in here, dive head first and try to defend this shit. Tell me why Gary Antoine Russell they only fight like once a year. Tell me why a talent like Gary Antoine Russell is only fighting once a year. Explain that shit to me. There ain't no answers. Now it's taking you too long to type. Tell me why Deontay Wilder got away from Showtime. You can't type no more? Now y'all mad? Now y'all mad because I'm talking about your gang? It's funny how boxing fans, y'all get real mad and defensive when people make too much sense. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, moving along. And my man, John Kramer in the Cash App, man, I appreciate you. Like I said, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's the truth. That's the truth of the matter. They start fucking up when it came to how they was promoting these fighters, the product that they was giving you, and then it started going downhill. Now all of a sudden at the end, well, let us try to put on the most biggest events and biggest fights we can. We wanted that a long time ago. You feel me? We wanted y'all to do that a long time ago. Jermaine Bean says, told you they want you to lie to them. Yeah, they want me to come up here and, pro PBC and pro Showtime, and Showtime is giving us the best fights and fuck Top Ranking and fuck the Zone. Yeah, Showtime is giving. I'm not worried about, like, everybody been knowing that motherfucking the Zone and Golden Boy some shit. Like, that ain't even worth talking about. We've been knowing that for a long time, that the Zone and Matchroom and Golden Boy some shit. They don't even have the talent to even compete over there. Like, people been knowing that. So, you know what I'm saying? Why you ain't talking about the Zone and Showtime and Golden? Like, we've been knowing that. Ain't nothing to talk about. The thing is, the point is Showtime had all of the talent. They have the talent. But you ain't, how's it talent if you're not displaying the right talent? You know what I'm saying? You ain't displaying the right talent. You a goddamn lie if you saying that Gary Russell only wanted to fight once a year. You're a motherfucking lie. A bold-faced, flat-out lie. Talking about Gary Russell only wanted to. So you know more than Gary Russell said himself. Because Gary Russell then said 1,000,000 times that he wanted to fight. He said he wanted to fight way more often than he was fighting. And he wanted to fight much better competition than that shit that they was giving him. You know what I'm saying? John Kramer said, you got 150 on boo-boo. Bet it. Bet it. Say less. And we confirmed. So I don't want you backing out. We already confirmed. But anyway, moving along, right? Moving along. So now we was talking about that. Randall Bivens says, marketing 101. Their mentality is consumers don't know is consumers don't know what they want. So they force feed people. He says, so they force feed people. Boy, were they wrong. Exactly, bro. And you know what they was trying to force feed us. Motherfuckers is on here arguing with me, but was not 98% of the fucking cards that we saw Hispanic fighters that didn't know how to speak English? So I'm lying, right? It's not all of the fucking pay-per-view undercards that Showtime put on fighters that are Hispanic fighters that don't nobody really know like that. But I'm not telling the truth, right? PBC and Showtime, they was just doing a fucking tremendous job. Like, come on, man. Y'all so fucking blind and shit, and then you put it out there and you break it down and y'all still are trying to deny this shit. Like, y'all funny to me, man. Y'all funny, man. Trishawn Edwards says Deontay Wilder and Spence, they biggest fighters and they fight every year and every year and a half. Right. Y'all funny, man, for real. And then y'all are trying to pick out one or two fighters out of 300 fighters and then try to make a case and shit. Like, man, y'all funny as hell, for real. Antonio King, what's happening with it? But anyway, moving along. Now I expect y'all to get in here and defend this shit too, right? Now I'm gonna drop a link. And I expect y'all to get in here and defend this shit too. So news has come out again. Stephen Espinoza then said it also, right? And I was trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'll try to take up for Tank for the longest, right? Now news is coming out that they are maybe working on having a rematch with Tank Davis. That's the fight, right? So Stephen Espinoza, like I told y'all, when you had other clown ass niggas running around on panels and shit and debating about Keith Thurman and Gervonta Davis, Stephen Espinoza said that shit was ridiculous. He says those rumors with Tank Davis and Keith Thurman was absolutely ridiculous. Was never gonna happen. It was never even talked about. But like I said, don't nobody want to get me. I'm crazy when I say shit, right? When I came over here telling y'all that shit was dumb as fuck. Why are y'all on panels and why are y'all listening to niggas that's hopping up talking about, I guarantee y'all that's the fight that's gonna happen next. Keith Thurman and Tank, man, and Tank gonna knock out Keith Thurman, man. I'm telling y'all, watch and see what happened. Well, Stephen Espinoza said that shit was ridiculous for people even to be talking about. But let's talk about what Stephen Espinoza also said. He said, yeah, they have been trying to get together a fight with Tank and Pitbull Cruz. Tank and Pitbull Cruz. And when I heard that shit, man, I fell out on the floor laughing because that's all I could do is laugh about that shit, right? Your favorite fighter probably gonna fight Pitbull Cruz. And what y'all gonna do is y'all gonna come defend your favorite fighter. If Pitbull Cruz and Tank happen, you gonna get all the Tank Davis diehard fans. They're gonna come up with an excuse to defend the fight. And I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. Watch and see. If they put this fight on, I'm going to say this motherfucking show because I'm going to run this shit back to y'all and tell y'all, I told y'all were going to do this shit. This is what y'all going to say. Oh, man, who else did you want Tank to fight? Who else did you want him to fight? Devin Haney dubbed him. Shakur Stevenson don't want to fight him no more. Who else did you want Tank to fight? Pitbull, man. Pit, man. The people were saying that the first fight was close. Tank should be fighting Pitbull because he want to prove that he can knock out Pitbull. A lot of people were saying Pitbull won the first fight. Who else should Tank fight? You just hating on Tank. That's what they gonna say. That's what y'all gonna say. Y'all already saying it. Y'all already saying that shit. Y'all just love to hate on Tank. Y'all love to hate me. Y'all hating on me. I'm supporting it. I'll buy it. Tank and Pitbull got unfinished business. Jay Crank, real time. Tank and Pitbull got unfinished business. Who's Devin Haney fighting? Well, he fighting Regis. Who's Regis Program? Who has Regis Program filed? Who is Shakur Stevenson fighting? He fighting De La Santos, man. Who's De La Santos? What has De La Santos done? Hey, man, y'all trip me the fuck out for real. So y'all finna pay $89.99? Yeah. Tank knocking people the fuck out. Hey, man. Oh shit. Hey man, hey, for real, man. Shout out to all the boxing fans, man, that they favorite fighters. Y'all be tripping me the fuck out. Hey. Oh shit. Man, Pitbull's solid. Man, Pitbull's a solid fighter, man. Pitbull is dangerous. Oh shit. Hey, but you know what the funniest shit, even besides that, is a month before they announced that shit, everybody, man, I don't want to see no Pitbull. Man, I'm gonna get on Tank's helmet if he fight Pitbull. Man, fuck that. We ain't finna take no Tank fight. We don't want to see that. I'm a fucking diehard Tank fan, but if Tank fight Pitbull Cruz, I ain't gonna support that shit. I don't want to see no Tank fight no Pitbull Cruz. And then they announced the shit. Next, Tank versus Pitbull. Man, shit, man. Man, if you think about it, it's a good fight. Y'all motherfucking funny as hell, for real. And who your favorite fighter ain't fighting nobody? He ain't fighting nobody. Oh shit. Hey, y'all know y'all funny, right? Y'all know that shit funny. Y'all motherfucking funny as hell, man. Oh shit. Man, y'all he said you should do a skit interviewing your personality like DMX and Big did on his song. For real, bro. Man, shit, man. Shit, man. The only reason Calvin for Tank want to prove to the fighter that he can knock out Pitbull Cruz, man. Cause they were saying that he couldn't knock out Pitbull, man. That's a solid fight. Man, Pitbull looked like some shit his last fight. Man, that's because, man, dude was running from Pitbull. Man, him and Tank gonna be way exciting this shit. Oh, yeah. That shit funny as hell, man. Man, you hating on Tank, man. Man, fuck you. Man, you just be hating on Tank, man. Ain't none of these other niggas fighting nobody. Why y'all, man, why Tank? Hey, man. Hey, like for real, like on some real shit, man. On some real shit. Man, that's Tank Team. And then the same people that say that's Tank Team was stressing you that Tank is running his own career. Don't nobody tell Tank what to do, man. Tank signed with Showtime, man. Tank gonna be fighting everybody now. Tank call the shots now. Then he fight Pitbull Crew. Man, that Tank ain't got no choice but to man. They want Tank to fight Pitbull Crew. Man, that's Calvin Ford, man. That's Showtime, man. They forcing Pitbull on him. Tank already said he don't want to fight no Pitbull Crews. Oh shit. Man, y'all funny, man. Like I said, that's why I just laughed when I heard it, because I'm in my head, I'm like, here they come. Here they come. They gonna back up this shit 1,000%. And Diana Queen in the building. The Queen Diana in the building. See, I be keeping it too real. Everybody else, what everybody else gonna do, they gonna stick to a fighter. And that's what they gonna base they fight. You know what I'm saying? They gonna stick to a fighter and they gonna run a narrative to that fighter they like. And that's all they gonna talk about. You know what I'm saying? Nah, man. I fuck with Tank, but come on, man. It's time, bro. Like these Issac Pitbull. Man, everybody at 135, they sold up. Well, if Tank is who he say he is, and who everybody think he is and say he is, if Pitbull Cruz is there, you supposed to say, fuck a Pitbull Crew fight. We gonna make something happen at 140 pounds because I'm Tank. Like, y'all say that Tank beats everybody from 130 to 140. A lot of y'all say that he beat motherfuckers at 147. So if you a great fighter like that, it ain't no, oh, well, and then Tank also says, I don't fuck with belts. It's up to you now to make the biggest and best fights. It's niggas lined up in order to fight Gervonta Davis. So no, a Pitbull Cruz ain't gonna cut it. It ain't gonna cut it, dog. And y'all see how I dropped the link, but now ain't nobody want to come up here and get no smoke. But I guarantee you, and I'm not saying this shit is gonna happen, I'm not saying it's set in stone, I guarantee you, if they announce it, these niggas will be all over the motherfucking chats defending this shit and crying for 3 months until the fight happened. Defending that shit, hopping on panels, all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee that shit, and I'll be willing to put any bread on it. Motherfucker gonna be on the panels defending it. All of a sudden, it's a good fight, and it ain't nobody your favorite fight ain't straight up. Now, I heard somebody ask me about De Los Santos earlier, right? The link is in the chat. I heard somebody ask me about De Los Santos earlier, right? Edwin De Los Santos is a way better fighter than Pitbull Cruz. Edwin De Los Santos, like I said earlier, is one of the few fighters that has all-around skills. He showed against solid competition. He went out there against Rayo and showed that he'll knock your ass clean these fuck out, right? If you try to go toe-to-toe with him. He got devastating power, right? Then he came and showed against Joseph Ordonez, who Joseph Ordonez, he can fight. That motherfucker ain't no Rudy Poo. He came and outboxed the shit out of Ordonez. Right? He came and boxed the shit out of Joseph Ordonez. And showed, man, that he just all the way around a solid fighter. Footwork, head movement, boxing skills, all of that. Edwin De Los Santos can fight. So whoever said something about Edwin De Los Santos and a Pitbull Cruz, you can't compare them two fighters. Pitbull Cruz is a straightforward, one-dimensional fighter that's some trash and got exposed by a fighter that nobody even knew who he was on pay-per-view in front of everybody his last fight. If you got any type of boxing skills and any type of lateral movement, Pitbull Cruz has no answers for you. All he's going to do is bull rush in for 12 or 10 straight rounds, throwing looping wide shots to the head and to the body, and that's it. That's why they call him a bull. He fight like a motherfucking bull, just charge in. I mean, does he have any chance of beating Tank Davis? No. So the point is, we need to stop seeing Tank in fights against fighters that don't have no fucking chance of beating him. Like, yeah, you got the Tank Davis fan base that fucking naive and think that nobody has a chance of beating Tank. Man, that's some bullshit. You got to start stepping up and fighting the top level company. Man, when Shakur, that's y'all rebuttal to everything. Man, well, Shakur and Devin Haney. Well, Shakur, he fighting a solid fighter. Devin Haney fighting a solid fighter. Both of them, their next fights are fighting much better fighters than Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Straight up and down. I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about. You're defending this shit, dog. As much as you say that you don't want to watch the fight, you're defending your favorite fighter, because for you to come in and say some shit like that, that is not the point, dog. He says, but if Tank was fighting De Los Santos, they would say he was fighting a no-name nobody. That's what Tank haters do. Nah, bruh. If you know that De Los Santos is a much better fighter than Pitbull Cruz, and I know that, that's all that matters. We're not doing, well, if Tank was fighting De Los Santos, and no. We're not doing that, dog. We're talking about the fans that know. Because for the people that you saying, if you could put Tank in the ring against motherfucking Ivan Redkach and he stopped Ivan Redkach, and they gonna tell you that he the best fighter in the world because he just knocked out Ivan Redkach in devastating fashion, because they don't know Ivan Redkach from De Los Santos or Pitbull Cruz or nobody. We're talking about the fans that know, bro. So that's what I'm talking about. Let's stop with the, well, if he fought, no, man. We know who the solid fighters are. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Akilo. The fight is for the casual fans. And another thing, right? I'm going to keep saying this, and I've said it in the past. That's all they're doing. They don't give a fuck about Tank getting in the ring with no real competition. They are focused on putting Gervonta Davis in the ring with fighters that he could look spectacular against for the casual fan base. You know how I know? Y'all know how I know that? That's 100% fact. Because Leonard Ellaby said it. Leonard Ellaby did an interview a while back after he fought. Who was it that he fought? Well, he said these things in 2 interviews that I know of. He said it after he fought Mario Barrios, and he said it after he fought Pitbull Cruz. And he says, fans are going to come to see Tank and pay to see Tank. It doesn't matter who he's in the ring with. Tank is a star. He says all these fans think that they know boxing and know what sells. He says it doesn't matter. He said nobody knew who Mario Barrios was. Nobody knew who Pitbull Cruz was. But fans still packed out the arena and paid to see Tank because they wanted to see Tank. That lets you know everything you need to know if you have common sense right there. They're not trying to put Tank in the ring with fighters that we know is competition. They're focused on, like my man said, the casual fan base, because the casual fan base, all they care about is we want to see Tank. We're going to show up and we're going to buy this pay-per-view and we're going to pack this arena out to see Tank give you a highlight pay-per-view. We don't give a fuck if it's you know what I'm saying? We don't give a fuck if it's a cab driver that he in the ring with. Just as long as he getting the knockout, that's what we want to see. But the problem is, all of the fans, the ones that are not casual fans, that know what's going on, y'all still pay that shit, pay to see that shit. Y'all still buy that shit. And it's fucked up for the ones that actually want to see Gervonta Davis in the ring with an actual, you know, a real good opponent, somebody that's going to give him some work, somebody that you ain't going to look in the betting lines and you see the odds negative 1,000. You got probably another year and a half before you see him in the ring with, you know, somebody that real boxing fans want to see him in the ring with. So it is what it is, you know. I like, to me, it's not even bothering me no more. I just, like, for a long time, it was bothering me because I wanted to see Tank in the ring against, you know, the best competition. But then when I just realized a while back that we not finna see that shit for a minute, we still not gonna see that shit for a while. It is what it is to me now. I know what to expect. Dank Larkin says these networks want money and new fans. Is not enough hardcores to move sport and bring the money. That's what they doing with Tank. Like I said, they, like, whatever way you want to slice it, they are just catering. When it comes to him, they catering to the casual fan base. That's it. See, the thing is, right? I'm gonna tell y'all the thing is, right? The thing is it comes a time to where Tank got to put his foot down and say no, because he got that control. And the people around him got to get off the bullshit, because as much as y'all talk bad about Ryan Garcia, right? Ryan Garcia fought Tank Davis. He ain't had to do that. They could have been giving us the same product over and over with Ryan Garcia, putting him in the ring with guys that he can knock out easily and continue to give that product, because Ryan Garcia also has a very big casual fan base that really, if they watch him boxing, that want to see him knock out somebody in devastating fashion, because he was giving knockouts in devastating fashion also. But now we seen Ryan Garcia fight Gervonta Davis, and we seeing him go in against an opponent that got damn near all knockouts on his record. I don't know who that dude is, so I'm not finna hype that dude up. But after that, we see Ryan Garcia is probably finna go in against Teofimo Lopez. And he's younger than Tank. But y'all shit on him. But he demanding that he fight the best fighters. He finna go fight, but y'all don't hear me though. Y'all don't hear me though. Y'all shit on him because he lost to Tank. Y'all call him a motherfucking Instagram fighter, and he ain't shit, and fuck him, and I can't stand him, and he just a motherfucking, he ain't no real fighter and all of that. But they talking about put him in the ring with Teofimo Lopez after he already fought Tank, when he ain't had to do that. Cool J, Tank is not following no Canelo blueprint. You can't even come in here and let some bullshit like that coming out your mouth. Because the last time I checked, Canelo Alvarez was 23 years old and fought Floyd Mayweather. The last time I checked, Canelo Alvarez came back after that and fought Lara. Fought Miguel Cotto. Y'all don't want to hear that though. Fought Austin Trout when he was at the top of his game. So no, he is not following no Canelo Alvarez footsteps or blueprint. That's false. That could be the furthest thing from the truth that I've heard today. And I done heard some bullshit come out of this chat today. Hell no. Anybody that thinks that is not the case. That's the furthest thing from the truth. Canelo went in there and he was getting the smoke. He was putting that shit on the line. Real talk. And you know the thing about it though, right? You want to know something else? Since you want to bring up Canelo, right? You want to know something else? Show y'all something. Canelo Alvarez is only 33 years old. Tank Davis, 29 years old. They're only 4 years apart. Now, yeah, Canelo has been professional longer than Tank, but they only 4 years apart. So ask yourself this. When Tank is 33 years old, is this resume going to look anywhere near how Canelo resume look? I don't give a fuck. I'm not a Canelo fan. I'm not a Canelo fan. But you got to keep it real somehow, somewhere, some way. You know what I'm saying? You in here talking about Spence and Bud is undisputed. It didn't sell half of what Tank did. That, bro, let me ask you a question, right? Because when people get to talking about shit like that, when we having a conversation about these fighters fighting real competition, that's what started letting me know is that boxing has turned into a whole bunch of fans that are fans of their fighter, right? Because at the end of the day, when we talking about boxing from just a fan's perspective, it shouldn't matter to you if one person in that motherfucking arena or 30,000 people in that arena. What should matter to you is the product that you getting in the ring. If you a fan of the sport, it shouldn't matter to you if this motherfucker getting paid $30 million or $30. Because at the end of the day, that shit doesn't move you none. We are supposed to be watching boxing to entertain us. I'm not giving a fuck how many people in that arena. I don't care how much such and such just got paid when it came down to it if they not fighting the best competition. So why are we talking about in this, like, it's a time to talk about who sold what if we on that topic, and it's a time to leave that shit out the window and be a fan of the sport. So you talking about what Tank sold and this and that, bro, that don't have shit to do with the conversation that we talking about right now. You know what I'm saying? Jay Hizzy says, do you think Canelo was accurate when he said Tank needs to do more to be the face of boxing besides financial gain? I mean, bro, like you can't call your, like, real talk. Everybody got on Canelo Alvarez. And like I said, I'm not a Canelo fan. And I'm a much bigger fan of Tank Davis than I am a Canelo. But at the end of the day, I'm not finna not keep it real with y'all. That's what a lot of people want to do. If they like a fight, they ain't gonna keep it real. They're gonna go around the main point. They're gonna make all type of excuses, right? But let's move back some, right? When Canelo Alvarez, after he already had a stacked resume, went and fought what was that dude fucking that bullshit fight that he fought? Y'all help me out. What's that dude that everybody got on Canelo helmet for fighting? The dude, y'all help me out with the name, right? When he fought that dude at 160. Man, I can't, y'all help me out. And he knocked him out like what in the second round, and everybody was on Canelo helmet. But that year, Canelo had already fought Yildirim, right? Canelo came in the fourth fight of that same year. He came in the fourth fight of that same year and fought Yildirim. And me, including everybody, got on Canelo Alvarez's helmet. I'm talking about we dogged the fuck out of him, right? Everybody dogged him. Didn't even think about that man had already fought 3 times that year, right? And he was already set, and I think he was already set to fight somebody big in May. You know what I'm saying? 5 or 6 months later, 5 months later, then that December or February or 3 months later. He was already locked in to fight somebody else, right? In that May, like 3 months after that, right? But we still got on his helmet. Forgot about Canelo Alvarez's resume leading up to that point. Forgot that he already had fought Floyd Mayweather at a young age. Forgot that he already had fought Austin Trout when Austin Trout was in his prime. Forgot that he already had fought Miguel Cotto. Forgot everybody else that he had fought, but we still got on his helmet, right? When you go to Tank Davis, he ain't even got nowhere near the resume that Canelo Alvarez even had back then. Forgot that Canelo already had fought Triple G in his prime. You know what I'm saying? Twice at that time. Tank Davis ain't even got near the resume that Canelo had back then. And so when he says that Tank needs to do more to become the face of boxing, I say all of that to say this. You can't call yourself the face of boxing to me if you turn around and give us a Pitbull Cruz fight after your resume is even nowhere near Canelo Alvarez's resume. Call yourself the face of boxing if you fight Pitbull Cruz, and these are just ifs, right? Because nobody know if Tank is actually going to fight Pitbull Cruz. But what we do know is Steven Espinoza said that is the fight. He ain't named no other fight but Pitbull Cruz. That's a fact. That's what we do know. Now, call yourself the face of boxing if Tank and Pitbull Cruz do more than Canelo Alvarez and Jermell Charlo did. We know that Canelo Alvarez and Jermell Charlo did like what, 700,000, 750,000. Call yourself the face of boxing if Tank and Pitbull Cruz do more than Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford do. Now you can come, you get Pitbull Cruz in the ring, and you do more than Canelo Alvarez and Jermell Charlo did, and more than Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence did. Now you've proven that you are the face of boxing, and me nor nobody else can say shit. Because I've been calling them the face of boxing. Right? But you ain't finna come and give me no product with a Pitbull Cruz, and I'm calling you the face of boxing because I wouldn't call him Canelo Alvarez the face of boxing when he came and fought motherfucking Abner Yildirim. Real talk. So that's what it is for me. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, says Tank versus Cruz sales will be way down in his opinion. I agree too. But people been arguing with me that Tank is going to sell more than Ryan Garcia if Ryan Garcia get in the ring with Teofimo Lopez. And I'll say this, right? If you think that Tank and Pitbull Cruz is going to sell more than Ryan Garcia and Teofimo Lopez, put your money on the line. I'm willing to take that bet. I'm willing to take that bet. Because, see, the thing is, like my man Dank Larkin and a lot of Tank fans, they think that he can get in the ring and fight anybody, and now his pay-per-view sales is going to be through the roof. And I think that numbers don't lie, because I know when I go back and look at Tank numbers, they say 200,000, 225,000, 275,000, 1.3 million. That 1.3 million wasn't just because of Tank. It was because who Tank was in the ring with. Let him fuck around and go fight Isaac Pitbull Cruz, and he gonna go back to 200, 300,000 pay-per-view buys. Straight up and down. And Ryan Garcia and Teofimo Lopez is going to sell more than Tank and Pitbull Cruz. Because you can't control what people going to do when they're in their own home. Motherfuckers, like, I don't give a fuck how big of fans people think that people say they are Tank Davis. He fight Pitbull Cruz. They not paying for that shit. They finna be in their own home. They going to tell you that they supported it and they paid for it. And they going to load up that motherfucking Fire Stick and watch that shit on Fire Stick. KQKC, what's happening with it? Salute to KQKC. My bad, Dank. I could have swore that you was up here telling me that Tank and Pitbull Cruz the other day was gonna sell more than Ryan Garcia and Teofimo if they fought. I thought you said that. My bad. But you know, it's like I said, man. We gonna see though. We gonna see. But see, the thing is what y'all don't understand, right? And I've been telling people this also, putting people on game. You know, trying to, you know, I try to put people on game and, you know, let y'all see what's really going on, right? Tank and Pitbull Cruz ain't gonna really sell like that, right? They might do 275,000, 300,000, right? But Tank Davis is still gonna get a huge bag off of fighting the Pitbull Cruz, because you know what they're gonna pay Pitbull Cruz? They're gonna pay Pitbull Cruz. We paid you. They're gonna pay him $700K, $750,000. They gonna pay Pitbull Cruz under $1 million. And who you think all the rest of that money go to? It go to Tank Davis and his team. So they'll give you Pitbull Cruz fights as long as they can. As long as you paying, you know, as long as 200,000, 300,000 people is paying to see Pitbull Cruz fights, they gonna give you them motherfucking fights because they ain't gotta pay Pitbull Cruz shit. That ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? That ain't shit. They paying Pitbull Cruz off of sponsorship. The money that they made off of sponsorship, they get that shit to Pitbull Cruz. The gate, the motherfucking pay-per-views, all of that shit. Now Leonard Ellerbe, gray beard ass, big nose ass, he eating. Motherfucking Calvin Ford eating. Gervonta Davis eating. They all clapping. Man, that's why when Larry Ellerbe talk, well, I'm going to tell y'all one thing. Tank Davis ain't taking no pay cut for nobody. I mean, I don't care what y'all motherfucking talking about. Tank Davis ain't taking no pay cuts. Y'all don't understand what he's saying when he's saying Tank ain't taking no pay cut. What he's saying is, we ain't none of us taking no pay cut. Why you think they pushing him to fight Pitbull Cruzes? Y'all don't think that Leonard Ellerbe big nose ass like money? Y'all don't think that Calvin Ford like money? Who else Calvin Ford? What other fighters Calvin Ford got making money off? Who other fighters Calvin Ford making money off of? Who else he got in his stable that's bringing him bread in? Come on, help me out. And like I said, I'm not hating on that man money, but I'm just saying, y'all need to open your eyes up. Who else do Calvin Ford got under his stable that's bringing him bread in? That's paying for that motherfucking gym. That's paying for them business that he riding in. Nobody. So Calvin Ford like, man, we think the Pitbull Cruz, that fight make the most sense to us. That fight make that fight make all the sense in the world to us. We want to fight Pitbull Cruz. Big nose Leonard Ellerbe come on. I mean, see, y'all don't understand. That y'all want to see the Devin Haney's and Shakur Stevenson. I mean, their fights ain't ready. It don't matter what the fans said, that fight's not ready yet. And Tank Davis, he ain't taking no pay cut for nobody. Tank ain't taking no pay cut. What they telling y'all is he ain't gonna take no pay cut. Calvin Ford ain't finna take no pay cut. Because you fight some of these big name fighters like the Teofimo Lopez's and the Shakur Stevensons and the Devin Haney's. They not taking no 700,000. You know what I'm saying? They not selling damn near 300K pay-per-view like Rolly did and then only getting paid $1 million. What you think Tank got paid? What you think Calvin Ford got paid? How you think Leonard Ellerbe and Floyd ate? Yeah, all right. So, hopefully some of y'all learn some shit and really open your eyes and see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Bugger Man says they saying they not taking a risk. They not taking any risk, and that's just the reason to get away with it. But risk also has a factor because no matter what y'all think, right? It's more so, it's not, risk does play a factor, right? But the dollar sign is much more a factor in it. More than risk, right? But risk play, and risk too. Because risk of the fight not selling as much for Tank Davis to come away with the 30, 25 million, right? That's a risk in itself. Because they ain't taking no risk. They put motherfucking Issac Cruz and them guys like that because they don't have to pay them. So even if it does underwhelming numbers on pay-per-view, it don't matter. They ain't have to pay this dude nothing. You see what I'm saying? It's just like, right, let me make an example, right? You go to a yard sale, right? And you just bought a motherfucker brand new 75-inch flat screen at this yard sale, but they gave you this motherfucking flat screen. You ain't tested or nothing, right? You didn't test to see if it worked or nothing, but you get to the crib and you plug the flat screen in and that motherfucker don't even work. But you only paid $15 for that motherfucker. Now you thought you got a gung of a deal because you like, how the fuck They said, but they telling you at the yard sale, we just need to get rid of everything because we're in the military and we need to just get rid of everything because we can't take none of this with us. That's why we selling this TV for $15. When you get back home and you plug it in and it don't work, you're not that mad that the TV didn't work because at the end of the day, you didn't really take no risk. You only paid $15 for the TV. That's how they looking at the situation. Well, maybe people didn't buy Issac Cruz like we thought he was going to buy, but we ain't really take no risk because we ain't really got to pay him shit. So that's what they doing, you know what I'm saying? And then they're talking Gervonta Davis into doing this because they like, I mean, look how much money you're making, Tank. I mean, and then you got guys like Leonard Ellaby, Calvin Ford, Mayweather in his ear every time they give him these opponents that he ain't really too fond of fighting because he see these other dudes and he want to show that he the best. They in his ear. Tank, all that don't matter. When you retire for the sport, I mean, you can't take legacy with you. But that money's still gonna spend. That's what they preached to him his whole career. When you retire from the sport, them belts don't fucking matter because they collect dust, which is true. And you can't take legacy to the motherfucking, you can't take legacy to the bank and buy shit. You can't go to the bank and you know what I'm saying, and buy shit and say, okay, well, I fought such and such and my legacy is this, and then they show Tank. Look at him and him and him and him and him and him. They fought all the best fighters in the world, but look at them now. And so they preaching that shit to Tank. And so even though one side of him might be like, man, fuck that. I want to fight the best. When they get to talking and then they go look and see what's in your bank account, Tank. Ain't none of these other guys making nowhere near what you making, Tank. We gonna get to these other guys. And they keep telling him, don't worry about it. We gonna get to the Devin Haney's. We gonna get to the Shakur Stevensons. We gonna get to the Teofimo Lopez's. We gonna get to these other guys, Tank. You don't think he wanna fight them dudes right now? See, the thing is, when y'all get to crying about motherfuckers is hate no Tank. You hate no Tank. I know what the deal is. A lot of y'all don't, right? I look into shit a lot deeper when it comes to boxing than a lot of fans because y'all just outrageous fans and don't want to think nobody's saying shit about your fighter. I know he want to fight a lot of them fighters. But then when they get to talking, and then they say, look, Tank, we've been telling you we had the blueprint. You made $40 million against Ryan Garcia. These other guys ain't making nowhere near that, Tank. Then it's Tank, you looking at, you just bought a new motherfucking $2 million necklace, diamond necklace. You just bought motherfucking 4 new mansions, estates. You got everything you want. Right? Because you young too. You spending money as fast as you getting it. Now you want to come and circle right back around and make that bag again. Right? Because Tank in his mind, he young. You think Tank fucking think like Floyd Mayweather and Leonard Ellaby do? You think Tank thinks like Al Heyman do? No. He think like a nigga that's on the street. For real, he think like a street nigga. Shit, I just made $40 million. I spent 30, but I ain't tripping because I'm going to circle back around my next fight and I'm going to get another big ass bag. Now what Leonard Ellaby been telling me, it make a whole lot of sense. What Leonard Ellaby, I ain't taking no pay cut. Tank, you don't want to take no pay cut. See, if you fight Shakur, these guys gonna wanna. These guys gonna wanna. They gonna want way more money than Isaac Pitbull Cruz. They gonna want way more money than Mario Barrios Tank. You don't need to fight them guys now. Oh, you gonna get to them guys. You gonna get to them, Tank. Don't worry about that. And Tank like, shit, fuck it. He make a lot of sense. Shit. I need to re-up that bag that I just made because I just spent a whole shit ton of money. I need to get that $2 million back that I just spent on this motherfucking diamond necklace. I need to get that motherfucking $15 million back that I just spent on them 2 mansions that I just bought. Shit. I just bought 5 new cars and I probably spent $5 million, $6 million on them cars. I need to recoup that shit back. But I ain't tripping because I'm going to get it right back the next time I fight. But I need to make a certain amount of money. And shit, I ain't taking no pay cuts. And Larry Elby and them is like, shit, we ain't taking no pay cuts neither. That's what that shit is about. They don't give a fuck, man. Tank and they're trying to stretch that shit out as long as they can, right? Because see, they understand. They ain't looking at it like Dank is, and they don't think like Dank do that it's impossible for Tank to get his ass beat. They looking at guys like Shakur Stevenson, and they might believe in Tank Davis and think that he can beat Tank, but they also know it's another side of that coin that they put him in with a Shakur Stevenson, and he might lose. I'm looking at him like he gonna knock Devin Haney the fuck out. But they also know it's the other side of that coin, and it's a way, way higher possibility than Devin Haney beating him than put him in a ring with Isaac Pitbull Cruz, and Isaac Pitbull Cruz beating him. So it's a whole motherfucking scheme they running, and they gonna run this scheme as long as they can. That's why you'll get to those guys, Tank. Don't worry about that. I guarantee you, if some shit like Isaac Pitbull Cruz came and knocked Gervonta Davis smoother, this ain't gonna happen. Like, right? So don't get to crying, and I'm just giving y'all some game. I guarantee you, if Pitbull Cruz came and knocked Gervonta Davis smooth the fuck out, and then Gervonta Davis came back and lost to Pitbull Cruz again, and showed that he not the same fighter, I guarantee you them motherfuckers wouldn't treat Tank the same way that they treat him. All of a sudden you'll see them throw Tank in the fucking ring with everybody under the sun. That's how boxing is ran. They only give a fuck about you, huh? Oh, yeah, that's all they doing. They scheming the fact they only give a fuck about you as long as you on top. They showed that with you with Errol Spence. Errol Spence was the everything to Showtime. They was catering to Errol Spence. If you want it, we gonna make it happen if Spence want it. Spence get what he want. Errol Spence fuck around, go out there and get his ass beat by Terrence Crawford. Now, well, see, I mean, we got a plethora of fights for Bud next. I mean, a fight that we would really like to make for Bud Crawford next is we would love to make Jerron Boots Ennis. I mean, we would love for Bud Crawford to fight Jamel Charlo. I mean, we got a lot of fights that we can make for Terrence Bud Crawford. Well, what about Errol Spence? Well, I mean, you know, Errol Spence, he wants to rematch with Bud Crawford, but, I mean, it just all depends on, we would like Errol Spence, to get his health checked out. And we want to see, if there's anything wrong with Spence, we would like to see if, Spence is right, because I've heard a lot of stories about the neurological damage that he could have. So if there's any truth to that, we would like to get that checked out first. But, I mean, it could happen. A rematch could happen, maybe it could happen in the last quarter or maybe, now the way they talking about Errol Spence ain't the same as they was talking about him before he took that L. Before he looked like that he wasn't the same fighter. The tone was a whole lot different before. Y'all think that motherfucking Tank Davis is exempt? Yeah. It go like that for anybody. Shakur go out there and get his ass outboxed by fucking De Los Santos. You think motherfucking Bob Arum is gonna jump up and, I think Shakur can beat anybody. We would love to fight Gervonta Davis. We'll take that fight tomorrow, but they don't want the fight. Devin Haney didn't want the fight. No, he not gonna talk like that. These motherfuckers is a dollar sign. These fighters are a dollar sign to these promoters. Let Tank fuck around and go out there and lose and then come back and don't look the same. That blueprint that they have for Tank Davis is gonna turn into, we'll put Tank and Shakur. That's the next fight we looking to make. We looking to make the biggest name fights for Tank Davis. We want to put Tank in there with Teofimo Lopez next. We want Tank and Devin Haney. Devin ain't gonna want the Tank fight. We want to make that fight. Telling y'all, man. Because at that point in time, the product ain't the same no more. They know that now you done seen him twice and he ain't looked the same like the same fighters. Now the fans ain't looking like that. Now it's time to get rid of you. And now we looking at motherfucking like Carmel Moten. Now we got a blueprint for Carmel Moten now. Tank, we ain't got no blueprint for Tank no more. It is what it is, bro. It ain't hate, it's the truth. And y'all make sure that y'all smash my like button. Smash my like button. I appreciate it if y'all smash my like button. Dank Locken says the fans, the one who asked for Tank Cruz. Tank said he wanted to move on. I don't know about no. Fans wasn't asking for that shit, bro. You can't take a handful of fans that don't know shit about boxing. You said Mexican fans. Nah, you can't take a handful of Mexican fans that don't know shit about boxing that'll tell you that Issac Cruz beat Tank Davis. That doesn't speak for the mass of the fan. Didn't nobody want that shit, bro. Of course, you always gonna have a small percentage of people, but you can't make that the majority. So man, I get on here, man, whether y'all like it or not, I'm just kicking facts to y'all, because I look at this and I know, like, I was once just a fan and naive, and I want to see my favorite fighters. I didn't give a fuck who they was fighting. But, bro, I've been in this shit for too long. I know what be going on behind the scenes, and I look at shit differently now. I know what's going on. I know what's going to continue to go on. And I know exactly why Showtime is giving us all the big fights that we get now all of a sudden, but we wouldn't get these fights before. Anyway, I hope that some of y'all took some game out of this. Don't take none of this shit personal. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't take it personal. I know what it is. Make sure that y'all hit my like button. I appreciate everybody for coming through, that came through. Support the channel. And if you missed the show, man, I cooked on a lot of shit today. Make sure that you run it back, and y'all already know how I do. There you go, talking that boxing again. And I'm gone, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Make sure that y'all hit my like button. We out.